Hello, 5th grade. Today we're going to be reviewing the notes on the grand staff. And the grand staff is when you have both the treble clef and the bass clef together. So we're going to review that right now, and then I'll show you what you're going to do on the website. Here we go. All right, so you might want to pause the video right here and write this down. Treble clef lines, every good boy does fine. Treble clef spaces, F-A-C-E. Remember, face rhymes with space. Fine rhymes with line. Bass clef lines, great big dogs fight animals. Bass clef spaces, Amy Carter eats green beans. So you might want to pause this video right now and write this down on a piece of scrap paper, because it will come in handy when you are using the website. All right, so the grand staff looks like this. There is a bracket that connects the treble with the bass clef. So I'm going to draw the notes right now. I'm going to try to do this. Sorry, it's all kind of shaky and weird. All right, so I'm going to do the treble clef line notes first. Every good boy does fine. Remember, line notes, the line goes through the middle of the note circle. And so that's E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. Make sure you start at the bottom and then go to the top when you say your sentence. All right, treble clef spaces. Face. F, A, C, E. That's F. A, C, E. F-A-C-E, face. All right, now if you have a space note that's underneath the 5 lines, that's a space note because there's no line going through the middle of it, so it's a space note. We know that is D for dirty because it's a dirty face. Dirty face. And if you have a note below the treble clef on its own line, which is what we call a ledger line, this is middle C. Now, if you have a note above the bass clef on its own ledger line, this is also middle C. It is the same note. The treble clef and the bass clef are spread apart, so it's easier for our eyes to read. And if the middle C is closer to the treble clef, then they want your right hand to play it. If the middle C is closer to the bass clef, then they want your left hand to play it. But this is middle C, this is middle C. It's the same note. Okay, on to bass clef. Great big dogs fight animals. Great big dogs fight animals. G, B, D, F, A. And now space notes. Amy Carter eats green beans. Amy Carter eats green beans. All right, notice B is above the staff, sitting on top of the bass clef. So the first thing you have to ask yourself when you're given a note to identify, is it treble clef or is it bass clef? Bass clef looks like this. It's where the low notes are. Remember, to the side it looks like a frowny face because bass clef is feeling low. All right, so you have to figure out if it's treble clef or bass clef, and then you have to figure out if it's a line note or a space note. And from there, you pick which sentence or word to use to identify it, whether it's a line or a space note, whether it is treble or bass clef. So now we're going to take a look at the website, and I want you to look at so when you click the link for the website, you need to click on this something like this should come up. You need to click the gear and click on clefs. Then you need to click Grand Staff. Then click the back arrow right there, the little blue arrow. And then we're going to look at the range. So you click on the range. This, you can use the hand to grip this and move it, or you can use the arrows on the side. I want the top note to be on the top line of the treble clef. And I want this note down here to be on the bottom line of the bass clef. So, bottom line of bass clef to the top line of the treble clef. This is what you need to make your range look like on your computer under settings. This is very important. Then you click the back button. And scroll down. If accidentals is blue, I need you to make it white. It should look like this. It should be white. All right, so grand staff, top line treble clef, bottom line bass clef. Make sure the accidentals are white. Then you can click off of the settings over here, and you should see the grand staff. Now, on mine, I have this row of accidentals, the sharps, and I have down here the row of flats, another row of accidentals. Since our accidental button wasn't clicked, and I don't want it to be clicked, you shouldn't have any sharps or flats come up when they're asking you to identify notes. So stick to the regular notes here, no sharps or flats. So this is in the bass clef. It's a line note, so we have to do great big. So it's B for big. And it lit up green, so we know we got it right. Okay? So I want you to go through at least one round. And the more rounds you do, the better you'll get at this. This website is called musictheory.net. And if you click on exercises, there are I'll just show you that now so you can see how I got here, because you might be interested in doing this over the summer, getting better at music. So you go to musictheory.net, musictheory.net. It's THEORY. Click on exercises. And here, this is the note identification. That's what we're doing today. And there's some other things that you can look at. And they have the opposite down here. It's called note construction. And it's when I don't know. I've never done this before. So it says E. This is not an E. So I need to move it to an E. And since there's no sharp or flat by it, I'm going to click none and submit answer. And that's correct. D sharp, it needs to be sharp. So you click on the sharp sign. And you need to drag it to the D. Could be this D or this D. And you can mess with the settings over here to do the grand staff. Again, you'll want to fix the range so that it doesn't go way up high on ledger lines. Just middle C to the top line is what you're used to doing in my music class. So this is musictheory.net. They have keyboard identification. You identify the notes. We did this earlier during at-home instruction. And if you're into guitar, they have guitar stuff. They have ear training. So this is training your ear to be able to identify a note by sound, which can be kind of tricky. Some people just got it though. All right. So that's musictheory.net if you want to explore that. But your assignment for this week is the grand staff. So you click on the link that I sent, fix the settings like I showed you, and go through at least one time. So you're identifying the notes on the grand staff today, and that is treble clef and bass clef. All right. Well, have fun with that, and I hope you guys are safe at home, healthy, and you're enjoying this time with your family and your pets, and taking advantage of this family time that we have going on right now. So I can't wait to see you again, and I'm looking forward to teaching you in 6th grade, and we're gonna have a great time. I'm 95% sure we will be doing in a version that I created of Into the Woods. So that'll be your play for next year. So more on that next year. All right. Well, enjoy, and I miss you all very much. Bye.